So look, man, I was gonna keep y'all updated in this top 100 charts, at least on the Apple Music side of things. We know that Kendrick Lamar is doing very well in the Spotify side of everything. He had recently just surpassed 100 million monthly listeners on Spotify. So big ups for Kendrick Lamar for being the first rapper ever to do that on the Spotify app. But we've been actually tapping in really close to the Apple Music side of things, the Apple Music chart for the past few days. And I just wanted to give a quick update because it's been not even a week since Drake has dropped his album. I think he dropped it back in Valentine's about 4 days ago. So we still have a week to go, like 3 days to go before the end of the week and see how it's done. But just to take a look here, we could see that it's been Drake and Kendrick going at it for the number one spot and staying in the top 10. Both of these artists occupying the position in the top 10 spots simultaneously, both of them. As you could see, Luther, Kendrick Lamar, and SZA have reclaimed the number one spot in the top 100 Apple Music USA chart. Now, I said this in the last video. Drake's songs are only going to do well for a certain amount of time before they go back down. Now, not even half the week, not even the week, not even a whole week, and Give Me a Hug already went back down to number two. Luther went back to number one. Not Like Us went back to number three. CN Tower, I told you that CN Tower was going to be the intro to the album. So this basically was only popular for a certain amount of time. Remember, CN Tower was number one only because the album, that was the intro of the album. So that song eventually wasn't going to do too well because it wasn't the most popular one. Give Me a Hug, obviously being the popular one on the album. But it's like I said, Luther was able to secure its spot back at the number one spot. It didn't really take that long. I thought it was going to take at least a week, but it looks like he was able to do it. Luther, Kendrick Lamar, SZA, they were all able to get the number one spot just in the past 2 days. So it's a very impressive thing to see. GNX on its 12th week, Drake and his album on its fourth day, and you could already see them going down and Kendrick Lamar going up. Now we'll see how the fans react to it. We're going to have their fans listen to one end of the music and then the other fans listen to the other, and then see how they could move the needle for both of these artists because they both secured the top 10 positions. And it's a very impressive thing to see because of the back and forth that these artists had this past year. So Kendrick, obviously coming off of the Super Bowl, going to do some legendary numbers, some monumental numbers, a really big milestone, 100 million monthly listeners on Spotify. And that's just Spotify. Can't forget Apple Music, where you could also watch the Super Bowl halftime performance and as well as listen to Kendrick Lamar monthly there too. So we have Kendrick Lamar and Drake still going at it back and forth. I think it's a very impressive thing to see. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't think that Luther is going to fall off. I think Not Like Us is going to pass Give Me a Hug as well. I think Give Me a Hug is only going to stay there for a certain amount of time before it goes down and plummets as well. CNN Tower already plummeted. Nokia is kind of moving up, but everything else seems to go back down. Mothballs had went down. It was up before that in the recent video. And it looks like some of these songs are just going to fall out of the top 10 spot. And this is after the backlash. This is after Drake had came out and tried to say that he was getting blackballed by the industry. People were saying that they weren't able to find his album. People are still saying that there's a conspiracy out there that he's being blackballed still. But I don't believe any of that. Every time I look up Drake's album, I see it on the front page. As you can see here, it shows up very quick, very fast. I don't even have to type anything, and it's right there in front of you for you to look up. I'm be real, bro. I think Drake is just gonna wait until the summer. He said he had something in the summer, and I think that's when he's really gonna give us something. I think he gave this album to Party Next Door, just so Party Next Door could have something under his belt. I don't know what Drake is gonna do in the summer exactly. If he drops an album and he tries to rap on it or he tries to sing on it, I don't think he's gonna do R&B and soul. The genre for this is R&B, and so I don't think he's gonna go for that. I think he's gonna go for a rap album, just a straight rap album, and see where he goes from there, see where it takes him from there. But we'll have to wait for the summer for that. But I'm sure when he does a rap album, like he said in his concert, he's going to try to explain the things that had happened in the beef. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of victim blaming, but I'm going to be real, bro. Anything could be better than this album right here. This album just felt like a lot of throwaway songs. Obviously, the biggest song is Give Me a Hug because he's talking about the beef. And I really don't think that it's going to last a long time in the top 100, at least in the USA. I think Luther is going to take control of the charts again. I think some of the GNX tracks are going to take control of the charts again. I don't think that Give Me a Hug is going to stay in the #2 spot for that long. I really don't think so. CNN Tower already went down, and all the other ones are going to go down. I don't think that any of these songs that Drake had dropped are going to stay in the top 10 for very long. Remember, there's like 20 of the songs and 10 of them are in the top 10. That means a majority of the people are listening to like half of the album because a majority of the popular songs are songs that come out in the beginning of the album. So these are songs that are being heard before people could even finish it. Really think about the songs that are popular and look how they're positioned in the album and look how they are in the charts. All the songs that are popular are the songs that go first. You don't see the 21st track on here because nobody has made it to the 21st track. If so, it would have been the most popular thing to hear. If he put Give Me a Hug on the 21st track, that probably would still be at #2. But he put it in the very beginning because he wanted it to match up with all these popular songs. But they're only popular because they came out early in the album, which is why they're going to go down very fast. But it's like I said, bro, Luther is in its 12th week. Give Me a Hug has been out for 4 days. It hasn't even been a week. So we'll see how it does. We'll see how the fan bases react, if Drake's fans are going to listen to it or if they're just going to fail it and let it go down. Obviously, people have been listening to Kendrick. There's been a lot of people listening to Kendrick Lamar as of lately. He just spiked up, like I said, and it keeps on going. So I know that Kendrick is going to stay in the top 10 at least for a while. I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. Not Like Us, Luther's still there. It's going to be a year, and Not Like Us is going to stay at the top for that long. That is crazy. That is insane. If it stays there for a whole year, that would be very impressive. Also, Luther's been up there for 4 months, and it's #1. And whether they go back and forth, I think Luther's going to be #1. I think GNX is defying the odds. I think Luther's going to stay at the top. I think Not Like Us is going to go back at #2. Give Me Hug is going to stay in the top 10 for a little bit before it goes back down. And obviously, all these other songs are going to plummet, and they'll be out of the top 10 shortly. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Like I said, it's only been 4 days. But Luther taking Give Me a Hug out of the #1 spot within the 4th day is not a good look, bro. It doesn't look like the song is sticking. But we'll see how it goes and move on from here. Y'all can tell me how y'all feel about that in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video, man. Peace. Keep it a legend.